Profile an outstanding achiever in the world of agriculture. When American business executive Martha Shepherd moved to Australia 13 years ago, she had no intention of becoming a farmer. That all changed, however, when she enrolled in a TAFE class to learn more about her adopted home's trees and fell in love with the fruits of the lily-pilly tree. The business she went on to build around these bush fruits won her this year's Rural Woman of the Year award.
Martha Shepherd was 53 when she quit her job with a multinational US bakery company to grow lily-pillies. It was a brave move, for the trees had not been commercialised and there was no market for their fruit.
We have a big challenge here, which is how do you create a brand out of something that really hasn't been fully commercialized before? And how do you make that appealing both to, you know, the Australian public or maybe to people outside of this country?
Martha Shepherd discovered the lily-pilly at TAFE.
So I signed up for this TAFE course to learn about some native trees, never expecting that what we would find out was about all these edible fruits. So that's really how it started, and dragged David along with me. And we got more than we bargained for.
The fruits of two lily-pillies, the Syzygium fibrosum and the Syzygium lumini, caught her attention.
And I'd take them home and play around with them and come up with recipes, you know, one of my favorite pastimes. And I was just astounded. All these new flavors I'd never heard of.
Tinkering with the lumini, which is spicy, and the fibrosum, which tastes of rhubarb and plum, led to the creation of two sauces. While surprised no one had utilised the fruits before, 20 years in product development and brand marketing convinced her the flavours had potential.
None of these are particularly wonderful as a fresh fruit. They need to be processed into something. And of course, my background being in the specialty bakery industry, I immediately started thinking about ways we could put them into bakery products.
Well, they're getting close.
Not going to be long at all.
Not going to be long.
Getting through to there.
Look at these ones here. They're just about ready.
Yum, they are ready. Yep, right, they look good.
While some will eat the lumini fresh, the fibrosum is sour.
So that sourest thing in creation, I warn people, do not eat these off the tree. Because when you put one bite, you know, you wish you'd never seen one. But if you put it into a baked product, and that's where Martha's magic works, it is phenomenal. And that's Martha's skill. She knows about food and she knows what to do with them.
A lot of really sour things have incredible flavor components that if they, you know, if we get them to the point that we're happy to eat them, you know, they just taste incredible. So some of it is just in the making it sweeter than it is normally on the tree, but a lot of it has to do with how it's handled and how it's processed as well.
And there's secrets that you keep to yourself?
Sure.
With a bush food business in mind, Martha Shepherd and her partner David Haviland bought 4.5 hectares at Karoi inland from Noosa. In 1997, they started planting lily-pillies, much to the amusement of locals.
They'd stop at the bottom of the driveway and pull up and go, "What are you planting there?" They just couldn't imagine what we were doing. And then when we'd tell them, then they'd just get back in the vehicles and sort of shaking their head going, "These people are mad," you know.
There are 2,000 native trees in the couple's rainforest orchard. Some, like the lumini, the fibrosum, the Davidson plum and lemon myrtle, already have a commercial use. Others, like white aspen, blue almond, cinnamon myrtle and native tamarind, are being grown just in case. While the trees grew, Martha Shepherd kept working. Then 3 years ago, she quit her job to be a farmer and set up Galeru. Before the products hit the market though, Galeru trademarked new names for the fruit. The fibrosum became a rain cherry and the lumini a rainberry. The couple chose farmers markets to promote their cakes, sauces and yogurts.
There's one of each of the fruits, like that.
with the serving suggestions on the back, so that's quite nice because there's nothing breakable in there. And they'll say, well, what is this fruit? I'll say, it's one of our rainforest lily pillies. And they'll say, oh, you can eat these things? I didn't know you could eat them.
Galeru grows the fruit but outsources processing to local firms. Mr Haviland is not surprised Galeru's been profitable for the last 3 years.
There's a lot of people who can grow things, and there's a lot of people who have been growing these things, but it's her knowing what to do with them that's the big key.
This year, Martha Shepherd won the National Rural Woman of the Year award.
Unbelievable. I mean, I was flabbergasted. I mean, just to think of someone like me who's come here, 13, 14 years ago, in a completely different industry, being a Rural Woman of the Year in Australia. I mean, it is pretty unbelievable. But it's a huge honor. It's just incredible.
Martha is very good at managing things. She's got an incredible background in business management, and she's an extremely good cook, as I know.
The judges were impressed not only with the products, but with Martha Shepherd's plan to develop a value chain with other growers. She says it's a model small producers of any crop that can be value added can follow.
We look at this incredibly valuable land in a place that has probably more rainfall than most places in Australia and think, my God, what a waste. If these blocks are too small to be viable farms, they could be if they were doing a high value crop and value adding, part of a value chain.
The value chain concept goes like this. A group of growers pools its fruit and retains ownership of it at each successive value-adding point.
What I think this will really be is a system not only for bush food, but for a lot of other horticultural and agricultural industries to actually become a lot more sustainable, because farmers have always been price takers. It's very rare that we can become price makers, and the value chain gives us a really good opportunity to do that.
The group includes Russ Glover, a nurseryman from Coffs Harbour who's been growing rainberries for 8 years. He's a fan of the value chain model.
Say we get $15 to $20 a kilo at the farm gate, and everyone knows about farm gate prices. What it's worth when you actually put it in most products, whether it's a yogurt or a cake or even a jam or a drink, is you're looking well over $100 a kilo it's worth, retail.
Russ Glover first met Martha Shepherd when she bought rainberry trees from him.
Well, straight away, I could see that Martha, she was a product developer. That was her forte. She was a marketer, she had imagination, and she actually really had a vision for these products. Gordon and myself have a vision for growing the fruit, doing it sustainably, organically, right? But Martha brings to it what we need to actually take it to a commercial reality.
When Martha won the Rural Woman of the Year award, what was your reaction?
Yes, because I immediately saw a person of Martha's talents and capabilities that this could really take, particularly the lily pillies, but not only that, but the whole bush food industry forward.
Martha Shepherd's delighted Russ Glover is in the group, for he's doing selection work on the rainberry.
We've worked on citrus for 3,000 years. Every year we get about 20 to 25 new hybrids, of which 2 or 3 might go through to be commercial. And we've been doing this for 10 years.
IT expert Megan Brennan is also in the group. She has a small rainberry orchard at Kenilworth in the Sunshine Coast hinterland. She bought the land after tasting Galeru products at the Noosa Farmers Market.
I went and had a taste of it and thought, wow, this is really nice, and actually asked David whether they'd put spices into it, and he was telling me, no, that's the berry, that's what it is. And I thought, God, this is amazing stuff.
Until she tasted the flavours Martha Shepherd had created. She says she was a bush food sceptic.
Just because they're Australian bush foods, well, big deal. They actually have to be wanted by people for all the right reasons.
So these products have to taste good?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's part of what David and Martha have absolutely done. They've taken the unique flavours, and with their products they've enhanced that flavour, not tried to sell them as substitutes for anything else. It's come try this flavour, it's something different, it's something unique, like it for what it is.
Summer is harvest time for the lily-pilly fruits, and this year there's more fruit than ever. The challenge for Martha Shepherd is to create demand to absorb the growing crop.
I mean, think about 20, 30 years ago. Nobody probably ate an avocado or any number of other things that are now part of our, everyday diets. So this could become more of an everyday thing, but, just like anything, everybody's got to be thinking about what is it that the consumer wants.